Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. This week with Gus,
Brandon,
Barbara.
Jordan.
did you see how I remember
Gus.
this time?
Good job,
did.
Brandon. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you.
you're learning.
I know. One day we'll
prepared.
like be able to get it all.
Podcasting is a lot like riding a bike. Like once you do it, and if you haven't done it for a while, it just comes back to you.
It does.
You just get
You
right
need some
back on
training
there.
wheels
You
at
just do
first,
some
too, though.
talking.
Well, it's been a while
Yeah.
since you've been on, right, Jordan?
Yeah, but it's like riding a bike. I know how to talk.
I thought you guys aren't going to badmouth Blaine this week, right?
No,
we're
you and I
working on
talked
that.
about it.
They already did.
We do agree, though. It's
Here
really
we go.
It's
we're
all
not going to
Blaine's
do
fault.
it, but
No. I'll just say we're doing our best to get over it, but he doesn't.
Brandon comes over to my desk at least once a day to talk about how he's still mad about it. And
Because
I think
it comes up naturally.
the thing you're most mad about is that you can't get over it.
About the...
Yeah. It makes me so mad because
For the
he won't
sniping?
own it. He won't just say, "Yeah, I'm sorry." He told Adam Kovic that we're villainizing him.
You're
And I
talking
just-
about it.
I just want him to be like, "Yeah, it was douchey." And it's like I can't, and then it can't get out of my brain, and it's eating me. Like it's gonna destroy me. Like I'm gonna be on my bed, and the last word, my deathbed, and the last words out of my mouth are gonna be like, "Goddamn Smite tournament."
I could have been a champion.
It could have been.
At least we're having fun,
But
sir.
guys, we're not talking about it.
I know you just totally fell into it.
We're not tell you everything
how about
that we're
this?
not talking
I'm mad at Blaine for a different reason.
Why are you mad at Blaine?
Because his hair's stupid.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Fucking
I had to
sick
draw.
burn.
I had to draw Blaine for RTA, and
God.
I could not figure out how to draw his hair. So I had to like go to him this morning and take a picture of him, like 3/4 view, and go back to my desk and use it as reference. And it took half the morning, like maybe 3.5 hours
get his hair right?
to draw Blaine's hair.
So, do you ever feel like you disappoint your father-in-law?
no.
Where is this coming from, Brandon?
No. I had dinner with my girlfriend's dad, and he's a very, very big, strong Mexican man. You know,
Like me?
Yeah, no, and
You don't have to laugh that hard. Control room, we got it. It's a joke.
and he works like in this fancy like insurance company, and he doesn't speak a ton of English. And I'm not exactly, I feel like, the ideal strong boyfriend.
No?
No, like I can't fix a shelf. You know, which to me is like the ultimate sign.
You can't fix a shelf.
Yeah.
That's,
That's
the
the
example you go
ultimate-
with.
that's
One
the
time,
ultimate
no,
thing.
That's
one
the
time
ultimate
my,
sign of
my door
manhood
was
for
fucked
him.
up, so I had to hire a service called Rent a Husband, and they came out and fixed my door.
Way to
What was I gonna
emasculate
do? They did
yourself.
a great job. But anyway, we're all having dinner.
You rented a husband?
Yeah.
Did you have to cook him dinner or anything when he showed up?
Oh yeah, it's
Give him
okay
a
though. My
handy?
ovaries were quivering.
I bet.
So we're all having dinner. My girlfriend, myself, and then her parents. And he doesn't speak. He doesn't really speak English, but every now and then he'll talk to me, and it's, he's really trying. It means a lot. One of the things he asked was, "What wine do you recommend?" And I know shit about that, so I was just like, Merlot. And it was like, I really don't know. And it was like this awkward moment. And then eventually I just ordered a Moscato for myself, which is like a very sweet wine. And the freaking waiter came out with like a dessert glass. It was like the most feminine thing they could have brought out. And when I grabbed it, it was like my hand took up the whole thing. And I was just staring at him. And he was just looking at me. And he just like closed his eyes and like shook his head.
God.
I felt so bad for her.
Have you never seen Sideways?
I have seen Sideways, yeah.
I'm not gonna drink fucking Merlot.
Merlot. He's like,
Yeah.
if anybody orders Merlot, I'm out. That's the only reason I know Merlot.
What's wrong with Merlot?
That's what I was channeling. I was like, okay.
That's the extent of your wine
that
knowledge.
makes them angry.
Yeah, I didn't know what else to say.
Did he get the Merlot?
Pinot Noir?
I don't know. He ordered. I didn't even know what he ordered. I was just a failure.
Learn a little bit about wine. Do
Yes.
you know anything about like liquor or beer or
Oh,
wine
I know a
or
ton about
anything?
liquor. I only drink liquor. I don't really drink beer.
What kind of liquor do you drink?
I like mostly gin and vodka. I used to drink a lot of rum and coke, but I don't really do dark liquor anymore. I can't drink whiskey. As soon as I smell it, I get really physically sick because that was the first liquor that I drank as a little kid. Because, like if you're a kid, you sneak in and you drink,
How old?
I don't know, like
What's the-
5. My grandfather had a stash of whiskey, and I went in and I just like took a big shot, and then I just threw up everywhere. And then now there's just this mental block. It just makes me except for Fireballs.
Fireball's good.
Fireball's awesome.
Did you see that video?
Tastes like candy and alcoholism.
So you're talking about them riding Honda unicycles or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I saw the dumbest thing happen last night. I was at HEB. It was just a grocery store down here. And if you've ever been to that one over here, they have like the security guards who like ride around on those little like tricycle things.
The tricycle Segway or whatever it is.
So
With,
it's
like the armor plating.
I walked out, Esther and I walked out, and we bumped into someone we knew. So we turned around to talk to him for just a second. And standing right behind the guy I knew was the security guard, and he was getting the tricycle up, and then like stood on it and started going. Then he immediately fell over into a bin full of watermelons. Like he didn't crash into it. He literally fell sideways, fell into a bin of watermelons, then tried to very coolly and nonchalantly get up out of it and act like it was intentional.
Oh my
How
god.
do you act if it's intentional?
Nobody saw it.
Except you.
Esther and I were the only two people. We looked at each other like, nobody else saw that. The guy fell into a box of watermelons
Oh my God.
and got away with
Did
it.
you just stop looking at the person you were talking to and we're like,
Yeah, and then we both had like the mouth open, like the look of shock on her face.
Like, was a part of you like, was that real?
Yeah, it was like, it was like almost like a prank show or something,
Yeah.
like or someone trying to get our reaction.
That
Yeah.
must have been painful to fall on a thing of watermelons. That's not like falling into, anything soft.
yeah, I was surprised you didn't like smash any.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if his head smashed through the watermelon and we got that up?
It's not on it.
Watermelon.
We should also probably mention a few other things that happened during the stream this weekend. Like Ryan's infamous pictures got released that a lot of people were waiting for.
Handsome
including
gnome.
His gnome picture, which I think a lot of people were disappointed in because they expected something else.
It's all right. It'll be
There it
better.
is.
It'll be better in the
But
animated
it's
adventure.
fashion gnome. And this was the picture.
It's like because the problem is I don't see gnome.
Yeah.
I do.
He's just like snowboarder.
Snowboard.
It looks like his head is cold.
Right.
I
And
mean,
he's not on a lawn.
that's what gnomes are wearing, right?
Or a mushroom.
Yeah, I wish we had the
then,
actual picture of him on the magical mushroom in the enchanted forest.
There's also the twist article of him as an 18-year-old
There it is.
James. It's always weird seeing his name as James,
Yeah.
even though his name.
I like the anecdote. It was
You know what's funny is I didn't even read the anecdote.
You didn't?
No, I just looked at the picture.
it was about him asking out a girl, or
He said
or
it wasn't-
something like he sent her an email asking her out, and she never said anything, so he got really nervous.
He said it was completely fake.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he didn't say any of that.
They looked at the guy, was like, this looks like the kind of guy who would send someone an email asking someone
Yeah.
out.
Does that not
He
work?
looks so different.
I know, right?
No,
What
he looks the
happened?
exact same.
What happened?
Barbara, would that ever
Life.
work with you?
This
Someone
also-
sent you an
Oh, his
email.
ID card.
If Ryan,
Yeah,
he's a good-looking guy. He's
I ain't gonna lie.
He
uncle.
was.
yeah.
Still is. Absolutely still
ain't
is.
gonna lie,
But he's
Ryan's
married,
pretty
so
hot
I'm
there.
being appropriate.
I think Alan Richard's appropriate too. And you talked about your ovaries quivering.
He doesn't. He's not in the office every day. I don't have to face him every day,
Preparing for baby.
unfortunately.
Oh, and there's my picture. My mom sent me that the other week.
What are you doing there?
You look like
I'm
La
in my.
Bamba.
Were you going to prom?
No, I was in band when I was at college, and
What'd
that
you
was our
play?
band uniform.
What'd you play?
I didn't play anything.
What?
Were you the baton twirler?
Rice has a scatter band, so instead of marching, the band just goes out in the field and plays music. So since
Runs
they don't
around?
march, there's people who go out and put on shows. They're called show assistants. So I was a show assistant. And I
Were
went
you-
out and
did you do
put on
magic?
shows. No, there's no magic.
Oh.
I was in the band. I didn't play anything though.
I played the
Yeah.
kazoo in the basketball band.
Well, wait, no,
I
no,
had a
wait,
kazoo
wait.
that looked like a
What
trombone.
did you do on the field, though?
It's like you put on shows. Like you come up with a theme for a show.
Yeah,
then
but what's the show you
Did
did?
you dance?
no, there's no dancing.
Did you
It's
just
like
go out
running
there
around,
and
running around,
look cool?
building props?
This
and
is like you have
blowing
like a
shit
little
up.
dummy. Like little
Running around building props. As
Well,
there
you
was
build
music
props and then
playing.
you use them and run around.
Oh.
You can look up examples of shows on
You know
that.
what we did at UT? One. That's what
Wow,
we did.
you don't
Oh.
do that
Not
anymore.
anymore.
Yeah.
I like your past tense of did.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier. But Brandon has this really bad Brandon has this
Wheelie.
really bad problem where we don't talk to each other very much at work, but if we're going to be on the podcast and it's Monday at work, he wants to come in and talk about everything. So
That's
anything we
not
could conceivably
true.
talk about that night on the podcast,
It's already ruined.
he's already ruined the discussion and talked about it ahead of time.
All right, well,
Why
I'll
do you
sit
do that?
here.
So
I get excited.
One of the things that you want to talk about was the windowless plane concept.
Oh my gosh. So somebody is proposing, in order to eliminate some of the weight on a plane, to take out all the windows and put LCD screens, and then they would attach cameras to the actual plane.
What?
and project that on there. And I was just like, that is the worst idea. Like I would have a
sounds
panic
frightening.
attack
Yeah.
in the middle of that. And it's the worst part of it is like if you adjust to it, but then you go to sleep and you're in like this awkward phase and then you kind of like wake up and you don't know where you are and you just look and you're just flying through air. Like I would die.
The
I would
best is-
literally die.
The best is when like someone on that flight like figures out how to hack into that LCD system and just starts playing
yeah.
porn all along the inside of the plane.
Or like fire.
Yeah.
Or the
plane
image of a plane
crashing.
crashing
Yeah.
and going down into the ground.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Just a bunch of dead bodies everywhere.
Did you see the I guess the gaff that Walmart had with their Halloween costumes? They have all their Halloween costumes listed on their website, and they had a certain section for the women's costumes that was labeled "fat girl costumes."
This has to be fake.
No, there were screenshots from the Walmart.com website.
I feel like that's doctored though.
It wasn't actually
Walmart
like
apologized for it.
it wasn't a fat suit, right?
It was not a fat suit. It was like plus size costumes.
I just can't believe that such a big corporation like that would do that. Like, even as a mistake, I feel like there's too many like passes to go through before you get to that final
Before you get to fat girl
categorizing
costumes.
Yeah.
costumes.
It's just a guy in Arkansas just being like, no, fat girls.
Yeah.
It's like, no, there's no check. It's just like the guy on the website, right?
Yeah.
Labeled it.
It's like social media, I understand, because that's usually just one person tweeting or posting something. But to like label something on your website,
There it is.
I feel like that just isn't something that one person does.
Toys R Us got
Fat
in.
girl costume.
Toys R Us got in trouble.
Toys R
'cause-
Us.
Toys R Us.
I
Yeah.
love
Is that
Toys
is that
R
a new
Us.
sex,
It's like the
sex shop?
generic. It's like the generic
It
version.
sounds
of
like
Toys
the
R Us.
Toys and Wheat.
Like it sounds like an adult gift shop. Toys in Us.
They got in trouble because they released some Breaking Bad figurines.
Yeah.
They didn't release them. They were just selling them.
Well, yeah, whatever. It was at the store, and it had like fake meth in it, and
That's awesome.
like
Yeah, I
parents
want
were
one.
obviously upset, and their response was, "Well, these are only for kids that are 14 and up," and it's like
Yeah.
they're just there for everybody. But I like to imagine it's like the way video stores used to work. There's just like a back room that you go into, and it's all the
For the
toys there
toys.
for like people 15 and up.
You go through the beads.
Well, like, and so I think they pulled it because they had like a petition that had like 10,000 signatures on
Yeah,
it.
some mom started it.
Right, but then there
obviously.
was like a retaliatory petition that had 30,000 signatures saying restock it and put it back on the shelves.
So is it back?
No,
Toys R Us is just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What do you want?
they should have left it up there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really a question of whether or not they're selling toys for everyone or just targeting kids. And I
Yeah.
think they're obviously probably just targeting kids.
They
which is
should have
why they
read the
removed it.
names though on that counter petition. See how many are real and how many are just like
Combo,
Yeah.
Skinny
Seymour
Pete,
you say
Heisenberg.
smelly butts.
Seymour.
Seymour
Butts.
butts.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's fine. I think it should be able to sell it.
Yeah, it's just people. I think people need something to overreact to,
Out of
or else they
context,
just get bored.
if you're just a kid and you don't know what Breaking Bad is and you get those figures, it's just like a couple of figures. One of them has like some chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And some
This guy's
blue
a scientist and likes
candy.
blue candy.
I used to eat toy cigarettes. That's way worse.
The bubblegum ones?
No, it was like
Weren't they the white stick candy?
yeah, the white sticks, and at the end it had like a little red tip, and you just kind of like chew on it. But it came in like a little cigarette box.
It was bubblegum, wasn't it?
No.
There are some that's bubblegum.
Okay. The ones I
And
knew were the ones I knew also had like flour in them between
Yeah,
the
and then you
gum,
could, like-
and you would blow it and it would look like smoke.
Yeah. You look so cool.
Teaching kids
Mm-hmm.
the right
Yeah.
way.
Smoking is cool.
I like that joke in
No.
Community when Troy is like he's really upset because everyone's thinking he's like still acting immature and he's like, I'm a grown up, and he like pulls out like a nice like cigarette holder and like opens it up and puts it in his mouth, and like Brady goes to light it and then he just eats it because it's a candy cigarette. He's like, I'm an adult.
It's so weird to me that was a thing. Like
Yeah.
that there were cigarettes.
You could still get those.
They still make them. I
Yeah.
thought they didn't make them anymore.
I could.
You know
Hey,
what
I can
that
get you some candy cigarettes tonight.
By
Sweet.
3:00.
Yeah.
You got to call someone first to get stocked.
Is that the end of the joke?
Yeah.
One time I was going to a bar. I'd met up with a friend of mine, and we were going downtown with this girl I was meeting for the first time. I did not know this girl. So we're walking downtown, and we're walking up to the bar, and the girl who I'm meeting for the first time goes, "Hey," she taps me on the shoulder. She's like, "Hey, if you're born March 13th, what's your astrological sign?" I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I don't know astrological signs." So we go up to the bouncer at the door. I give him my license, and I go, "Hey, you're a bouncer. If you're born March 13th, what's your astrological sign?" And she starts like punching me in the back. And we get in. I'm like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "I have a fake ID. And the birthday says March 13th, and I didn't know the astrological sign." I was like, "I didn't know you were 21."
Wow.
Did that freak you
Smooth
out?
as balls right there.
I didn't know. I was like, "What?"
It's
like classic
Dumbass bitch.
That's like-
I wouldn't have gone out with her if I knew that.
That's like Gus. Gus would be the kid who like at the end of class be like, "Oh, teacher, you forgot to assign his homework,"
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Gus, no."
One time, speaking of
Melvin.
which, one time in 3rd grade, school had started. You know, we all went in. The bell rang. We all got into our class. We sat down, and there was no teacher, and we're all like, "Oh, I'm sure she's just outside or something." We waited like 5 minutes, and there was still no teacher, and I was like, "Well, I gotta go tell the office that we don't have a teacher."
Of course you did.
Everyone in the class got between me and the fucking door.
How did you not get in a fight?
I made it out there.
don't get
I
it.
went to the office. I was like, "Excuse me, we don't have a teacher."
Of course you were that person.
The fucking principal had to
if I
come in
don't
and
get
sit
it?
with
"Oh,
us.
excuse me, sir. I need to learn today."
You're the kid who, when there's like an open book test or like some thing where you have to like look at the map of the world and name the cities or the countries, and the teacher leaves the map up by accident, you're like, "Excuse me,
Yeah.
miss, you did not hide the map."
I totally would have done that.
Yep.
Because
Is
I
that
didn't.
what you think Gus sounds like?
As a kid, yeah.
The thing was, I didn't give a fuck. Like, I knew the shit. I knew everyone else didn't, so like it didn't help me at all.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I care?
Yeah.
I'm looking out for Gus.
Bye, I love you.